Alright, so welcome back to another video with scale factor. Just to recap, what is scale factor? We said that in a similar figure, the ratio of their corresponding side is called the scale factor. A scale factor is the factor by which all the components of an object are multiplied in order to create a proportional enlargement or reduction. We also said that if the scale factor is less than 1, there will be a reduction. But if the scale factor is greater than 1, there will be an enlargement. Alright? So let's get into the lesson. This question says, what is the scale factor if the triangle on the left is the original? So on the left, this would be my left, this is your right. So original, that means this triangle here would be the old, this triangle here would be the new, because the original is the old. Alright? Alright. So we are finding the scale factor. We said that to find scale factor, SF is equal to the new over the old. So we are using new over old. We just need to take corresponding sides from the new and the old based on the information that we have in order to find the scale factor. So say we are using these two numbers here, because these two sides would correspond 5 feet and 10 feet. So new 5 would go in the numerator, 10 would be the old that goes in the denominator. We can reduce this fraction by dividing by 5. Divide the numerator by 5, divide the numerator by 5. Any number you divide the numerator by, you have to divide the denominator by it. Any number you divide the denominator by, you also have to divide the numerator by that number. So 5 divided by 5, that's going to give us 1. 10 divided by 5, that will give us 2. So the scale factor here is 1/2. 1 over 2. 1/2. Alright? So that's the scale factor. Alright. Next question. This question asks us to find the perimeter of the large triangle. So we need to find the perimeter of the large triangle. What is perimeter? Just to remind you, perimeter is the distance, the total distance around a figure. So the perimeter, you'd have to add this side with this side with this side to get the perimeter. So you have to add all the numbers that are the length of each side of the figure to find the perimeter. Alright? But if you notice, we do not know this side. So we would have to find this side here. We can use to find the scale factor to find the missing side. So we can find the scale factor to find the missing side. Or if we look at it, 3 and 9 correspond. What did you do to 3 to get 9? We could say we multiplied by 3. Because 3 times 3 give us 9. What did I do to 5 to get 15? I multiplied 5 by 3 to get 15. So to get this missing side, we can multiply 4 by 3, which is going to give us 12. Or we could find the scale factor. Remember, scale factor is always equal to new over old. So the one that we want to find the side for, that's going to be our new. Alright? So let's use 15 and 5, because these two sides would correspond. So 15 would be in our numerator and 5 would be in our denominator. Divide top number and bottom number by 5. That's going to give us 3 over 1, which is the same thing as 3. So scale factor equal 3. So we know the scale factor. 3 times 9, 3 times 3, sorry, give us 9. 5 times 3, 15. So 4 times 3 give us 12. So we multiply by the scale factor. So the scale factor there is 3. But remember, the question asks us to find the perimeter. And we said that perimeter is the total distance around a figure. So to find the perimeter, we have to add the length of this side, 15, the length of this side, 12, and the length of this side, which is 9. 5 plus 2, that's going to give us 7. 7 plus 9, that's going to give us 16. 6, take the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's going to give us 3. So the perimeter of the large triangle is equal to 36. That's the perimeter for the large. Alright, so that was the perimeter of the large triangle. Another question. It says, find side x. Find side length x. Where's side length x? That's this side. So we want to find this side. It's not easy to look at these two sides and say, what did I do to 10 to get 25? So it's always good to find our scale factor. This would be your new, this would be your old. Scale factor is always the new over the old. Right? New. We could not use 8 because we don't know the length of this side. So we have to take sides that we know that corresponds. Alright? So new would be 25. 25 is in the numerator. Old would be 10 because those two sides correspond. We can simplify that fraction by dividing by 5. Divide numerator by 5. Divide denominator also by 5. 25 divided by 5, that will give us 5. 10 divided by 5, that will give us 2. So scale factor is equal to 5 over 2. Alright? So that's the scale factor, 5 over 2. Alright, so now that we know the scale factor, we want to find this missing side, x. So this side corresponds with x. So we multiply the scale factor by the corresponding side of x. So 5 over 2 multiplied by 6. And we said that we can change any whole number to a fraction by putting a 1 under that whole number. So now that we are working with all fraction, multiply numerator with numerator. So 5 times 6, that's 30. And 2 multiplied by 1, that's going to give us 2. That fraction can be simplified by dividing by 2. 30 divided by 2 is going to give us 15. 2 divided by 2 is 1, which is the same thing as 15. So x is equal to 15. That's the length of this side, 15. If you wanted to find the length of this side, all you have to do is to multiply the scale factor by 8. Alright? So you could multiply the scale factor by 8, which is going to give us 20. So this side would be 20. Okay, another question. It says, if the scale factor is 4, what is the measurement of x? So we want to find x, which is right here. So scale factor, there we are given the scale factor. 4 times 4 is 16. So to find x, you would have to multiply 6 by 4, which gives us 24, and it's going to be meters. So that one is pretty easy because the scale factor is already given. If we wanted to find this side, 5 is here. 5 times 4, this side would be 20 meters. But they only asked us to find x. Alright, they only ask us to find x for this question. So x is equal to 24 meters. This question says, if these two figures are similar, what is the measure of the missing angle? So we want to find the missing angle here. Remember, we said that once the figures are similar, we said that all corresponding angles are equal. They are the same. So to find this missing angle, 114 and this missing angle would fall in the same position. So this angle would be 114. If they had asked us to find this angle would be what? 66. It matches to that. This angle would be corresponding with 114 there. So this angle would be 114 degrees. And this angle here correspond. So it will be 66 degrees. But the missing angle we want to find is 114. This is the angle they ask us to find. 114. So remember, with similar figures, corresponding angles are equal. Alright, let's continue. If two shapes are similar, what is the measure of missing length S? What is the measure of missing length S, which is this side here? So to find the missing side, it's always good to what? Find the scale factor. Scale factor, we said, is equal to new over old. Which of the object is the new? Which of the object is the old? Since we want to find the missing side for this object, then this object will be our new. And this will be our old. So new over old. Which sides do we know? We know these two sides which corresponds. Not because the shapes are turned different. They are still the same shape. The only difference is that one is turned different. Alright? So new would be 2. Old would be 8. And that fraction can be simplified by dividing by 2. 2 divided by 2, that's 1. 8 divided by 2, that's going to give us 4. So the scale factor is 1/4. So to find the missing side S, you multiply 1/4 by 4. And we said that we can change a whole number to a fraction by putting a 1 under that whole number. When we multiply in fraction, we multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. This fraction can be simplified by dividing by 4. Numerator and denominator divide by 4. So that's 1 over 1, which is the same thing as 1. So S, side length S, is equal to 1. And it will be 1 feet. Alright? Ensure you write your measurements at all times. Alright, next question. If these two figures are similar, what is the measure of the missing angle? What is the measure of the missing angle? So the shapes are similar. We need to find the missing angle, which is right here. Notice they are turned upside down to each other, but they are same shape, only different size. All right, so yes, they are similar because they have the same shape. So remember, similar figures have the same shape. They can be different size, so they are not the same size. We also say that the corresponding angles are equal and the sides are proportional. All right, so if we should flip this up or flip this one down, which angle will correspond here? This angle will be corresponding with this angle. And if you look at it, this side is the longer side and this side is the longest side. So these angles would fall here. So this missing angle would be 72 degrees. That's the missing angle there. All right. It's just that they turn the shapes different way, but they are still similar. They are the same shape. All right, here's another question. If these two shapes are similar, what is the measure of the missing length? V. What's the measure of the missing length? V. That's that side we want to find, V. Alright, so remember, to find a missing side, we can easily find the scale factor. We said that scale factor is equal to new over old. How do we identify the new from the old here? The one that we want to find the missing side of, that's always going to be our new. The one that we know all the sides of is the old. In other cases, they would tell you from small to large, or they name it by saying from A, B, C to A, B, X, Y, Z, or so on. All right. So when the one that you're going to is normally the new, and the one that you're coming from is the old. But in this case, when you want to find the missing side of a object, the one that has the missing side, that's the new. All right. So here, this one is the new. So we know corresponding side 70. So that's 70 and 80. We can reduce this fraction by dividing by 10. 70 divided by 10 is 7. 80 divided by 10 is going to give us 8. So the scale factor there is 7 over 8. All right. So to find the missing side, we multiply 7 over 8, which is the scale factor, by 48. We said we can always change our whole numbers to a fraction by putting a 1 under that whole number. So when we multiply in fractions, multiply numerator with numerator. So 7 times 48, that's going to give us 336. 8 times 1, that's going to give us 8. We can simplify this fraction. Divide numerator by 8, divide denominator by 8. 336 divided by 8, that's going to give us 42. And 8 divided by 8 is going to give us 1. Remember, any number over 1 is always that number as a whole number. So the answer here is 42. So V is equal to 42. And it's miles, M-I, so miles. Alright? So don't forget your unit. So that will be the end of scale factor. We're going to stop there. Hope you enjoyed. And remember to leave a comment after watching the video.